Mamu ina akwaba at the bank assertive native when any concoction the Wutu senior constituency I am mame Phyllis na Koryoo akachi. Native for saying Rebecca me a soon crocodile tears pan a cansam and sena enfata a guyamame Hawa koomson who fi poto. I tifo any asem to a track here to Emma Musu so our cosmophobia upon honum. Shoot out Mamma Nembranti menu a Wusanina a trauma interior minister crabba bonting at the December 2017. On my end, some new investigation and summer the Wutu senior MP a Kena Nina a trona obwa Namami Contompopano o deeper so deformity Emma Hawa koomson. Ama mami koso ye press conference ahodo eko air captain smash show so ina ko kan sentinu se investigation ni gbe dey dia na be hu se some na kan atwa na so twan kontompo na nso na etifo the interior minister so saba bontin da den sama betodu asentin sama mami ekin ni na atro na so da onte na no pay the lawyer Paul Adom Otro so sa atenas den sama betodu asentin mami defamation and oye. That's one shiny pa. This is the number of years about me edi ewo jail. So kusu dia oye na. Na yesi bi pinem ko tin sama lawyer Paul Adom Otro kana audituda.
Challenge where people are not going to believe what we say anymore. During the appointment committee hearings of Supreme Court Justice Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, she told the appointment committee something. She said that when she was growing up, there was a saying that book no lie or paper no lie, so that when something is written in black and white, it was to be believed. She was reporting to the appointment committee that, to her surprise, that's not the same anymore. You can see a black and white document and it is untrue. And it's erodes confidence in the public system and it erodes confidence in politics. Here we are saddled with this story, and I believed it. Of course, even though I support Hawa koomson to the hilt, I believed it. And I thought that Hawa koomson may have been under pressure to sort of shoot a gun. Fair enough. And there are some people in MPP who felt that the law must take its course, everything. I remember the security experts like Professor Koryoo, the kinds of words that they use against Hawa koomson, calling virtually for her removal on account of a story that was told by the Honorable Koryoo, who is now the Member of Parliament for Kasua. And they were both in a contest to represent Kasua in Parliament. Hawa koomson was the incumbent and she was challenging on the NDC ticket. I believe it wasn't the first time she was challenging Hawa koomson. And there was this routing that occurred. She gave a story, and tonight we're going to go through what she said first, what she said second, what she said now. Because earlier today, she held a press conference in Parliament. GBC Online had the story. So later on, those of you who want to see the full one, can go on GBC Online. But we have edited the salient points and we're going to share with you. It's quite interesting and very disheartening, I have to say. I'm sorry to use that word. Very disheartening for a member of Parliament currently who is not rendering an apology, but actually blaming the minister in the press conference that she held today. So let's tell the story. Ghanaians observing the campaign one day heard that they had been shooting in Kasua. Hawa koomson was already quite disliked by the NDC, given her very frontal role in the disturbances that occurred in Parliament on the 7th of January. Hawa koomson stood her ground on the issue of who will sit on which chair. And she was very brutal. She's a very strong woman, those of you who know her. And she was very brutal in insisting that some chairs were for the majority and some chairs were for the minority. Photographs and videos came up and she was painted out as a violent woman, etc., etc. So that had been her record, and she was an anti-person as far as the NDC was concerned. So when this story broke, and the Honorable Koryoo alleged that, she didn't quite allege, she said Hawa had shot at her, and 2 people had died. It sort of fitted into the story of Hawa koomson is violent. So this is what she put out on 7th, was it 7th December 2024? The election day, that is. Hawa koomson tried to kill me. 2 of my agents are dead. I am beginning to guess that this happened before voting ended. Now, if in the middle of voting, this is published by a woman who has already been propaganded as violent, and you see this one, you are naturally going to be concerned about it. So this is the first thing she put out. And then she went on TV3 to speak about what had happened. And then later on, she was granted an interview by our friend Captain Smart on Onua FM about what has happened. Let's see first what she said to TV3.
This is one of the collection centers, which is Iron City. I went to talk to Christ first. I realized that there was a DA, which is Hawa DA, with the boys, Tima, and the rest. The same boys I complained about. They have followed me and they have shot one of my guys. In fact, they shot at my car separate times.
I see. And what's the situation there where you are now?
That guy is dead. It is not peaceful. Obviously, when someone is dead, how can it be peaceful? How can it be calm? There's a dead person lying down there. I want to say I killed someone. He wants to take my life and he has killed someone and it's
now when I will drive it.
Pacho Debbie.
Okay.
Now me drive and I need Chicano.
All right. Mo walker na mo yes na net team.
Na yeah 6 na net Chicano.
Okay. Na Pacho what two gunshot not to bed do be say.
Yet say to be at 3.
Do be 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Enti wo mo tutu no wie no wo mo di mo achi be sam ho koya na so mo dane wo mo ho.
Pacho mo dane wo mo ho koye.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so you heard the narration. Let's move on. No, I'm not here yet, am I? I'm now on Muntaka's statement, isn't it? Do you have Muntaka's statement? Yes. Let's look at Muntaka. We are not here yet. So next, let's look at the President Mahama then commissioned an inquiry into all of the violence of 2020 and 2024, including this one, which was very heavy on the agenda. The Minister of Interior reported to the media on the government accountability platform of Felix Kwatiofosu, and this was he said.
2024, the scene of the incident.
Now, said before a commission of inquiry where she had to speak under oath, the Honorable Member of Parliament, whom you heard narrating and was crying. I mean, when she was talking to Captain Smart, she was sober. It was like she was crying. She had been traumatized. She, Baby Groma people, are they there? The School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana. They need her. Madam Honorable Koryoo, maybe you missed your way. You should be doing what Difa Gomashi, the tourism minister, knows how to do very well. To go to the School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana and become a great actress. I think you will be a great actress because the way you can dramatize when there's nothing happening, I admire you for that. It's really, really heartbreaking. This is what the Interior Minister said. He said, Phyllis Koryoo Okenno denied her convoy was attacked. Koryoo, okay, Phyllis Koryoo Okenno denied her convoy was attacked, stating she was not at the scene. Those involved have refused to speak with the task force. This is quite shocking. So she goes before the committee. Everything she told Captain Smart then, she erased it before she's at the committee that nothing had happened. Her convoy had not been attacked. Because here at the committee, she needed to provide evidence of what she's saying. That's why we always say that propaganda is different from speaking in court or speaking before a committee. At the propaganda platform, you can say anything. But once you get into a committee or into court and you have to defend what you are saying, they backpedal, they develop cold feet because they were just speaking lies, concoction for political gain. That's something we have to identify perhaps in our behavioral patterns for politicians. Concoction of stories for political gain. If people do that, there has to be some sanctions for it because there was too many of that in our